I think there's a natural jealousy and dislike that they have had toward Robyn, especially Christine and Janelle. It's just a thing that happens in plural marriage. I should be bigger about it, but we were supposed to be a team working together.
I know what I wanted. I wanted this family. I was bending over backwards to encourage Kody's relationships with his wives and Kody's relationship with his kids. I had too high of expectations. I wanted too much for my sister wives.
Christine's version of events, Robyn was apparently dropping not-so-subtle hints about legal wife 1 getting divorced so that wife 2 could swoop in and get her hands on the kids for adoption. Robyn, of course, denies it, but why would Christine just pull something like that out of thin air? And let's not forget, Janelle could back up this version of events if it ever came to that. It seems Robyn really was playing the long game, doesn't it? As for Meri, she mentioned that she and Kody had been discussing the possibility of a legal divorce long before it actually happened. It sounds like it was something they'd considered for a while, with Meri hesitating, hoping things would improve before pulling the trigger. Honestly, I believe Christine and Meri are being straightforward here. Robyn, on the other hand, seems to have a selective memory. She insists she never said anything about it, but that doesn't mean she didn't. Just saying. We've got so much to dive into today, so let's not waste any time. Let's jump straight into it. Hey everyone, what's up? It's Elena here, and welcome back to my channel Reality Nexus X. Kody's latest move is truly next-level absurd. So he wants to go to church with Robyn and the grown women who, let's be clear, are perfectly capable of handling themselves. All because he's worried that some man might scoop her up at church. Seriously, how is this not completely bonkers? I mean, I get that some people might not be fans of Robyn. She made her choices, we get it. But Kody's behavior here just screams control freak. Now, I'm Catholic, so I'm not exactly in the loop about what happens at their church services. But they're not going to some club, right? You know, one of those churches where people go just to flirt and scope each other out. Because that would be wild. But regardless, what's happening here is giving off major red flags. No woman, yes, even Robyn, should have to deal with her husband looming over her at church like some creepy bodyguard, just waiting to pounce if another man dares to look her way. It's disturbing on so many levels. And honestly, who cares whether you think Robyn is hot? This is about a grown woman needing space to worship and connect spiritually without her husband treating her like a prized possession that's constantly under surveillance. If that doesn't make you uncomfortable, I don't know what would. Kody's ego used to be all about being the ultimate surfer dude polygamist, but now it's all about Robyn, the ultimate woman. The one all the men want and all the women want to be. And of course, the chaos in the family, it's all because of jealousy. He's too far gone in his fantasy world to see anything else. So I'm rewatching season 10, and wow, Kody's commentary on Maddie is something else. In episode 9, he practically throws a tantrum, calling her a control freak and manipulative, among other delightful labels. Has anyone else picked up on this? It's wild to see how Kody completely checks out of his kids' lives once they hit that not a toddler anymore phase. But let's not kid ourselves here. It's not that he stops caring when they're no longer in diapers. If you pay attention, he's got plenty of glowing things to say about D, A, and B, and they're all full-grown adults. The issue isn't that they grow up, it's that they start thinking for themselves. Once they realize that Kody's not exactly father of the year material, suddenly he's too busy to care. Classic. The mystery of Kody's dad, Win, and why he didn't show up to Kody and Christine's wedding. Let's untangle that, shall we? In the last episode, Kody casually brushed it off, claiming his dad just wasn't interested in attending. But surprise, surprise, according to their book, and maybe some forgotten details Kody would rather not address, the real reason had more to do with Win's crystal-clear judgment about Kody's track record with marriage. Win didn't think Kody was exactly setting the best example, given the train wreck of his first 2 marriages. He was probably less meh about the wedding and more, "You've got to be kidding me with this mess." So yeah, Not because he didn't care about Kody's happiness, but because he thought the guy was stumbling through marriage like a bull in a china shop. Not exactly wedding material in Wyn's eyes. And then there's the whole parenting philosophy that Wyn seemed to champion, which involved, kicking kids and grandkids in the stomach as a stellar way to show discipline. Oh, and beating wives who were a little too vocal about disagreements. Great advice for healthy relationships, right? So it's honestly not a shocker that Kody's spinning a different version of events. Now, according to Kody's nephew, who, let's be honest, probably has a more accurate view of the family dynamics than Kody would like, Wyn and Kody's brother were cut from the same cloth, domineering, cruel, and ruled by fear. Their families? Oh, they didn't have a healthy relationship. They had an iron fist. Naturally, Kody bends over backward to protect his dad's legacy, even after the guy passed away. But keeping those cover stories straight, that's a full-time job Kody seems to be struggling with. And don't even get me started on Kody's courtship choices. Before Christine, there was the whole dating an underage girl debacle, which probably didn't win any awards with his dad either. Wyn, ever the concerned father, was not exactly thrilled about Kody's life choices, especially considering the mess Kody was living in with his first 3 wives and the whole living in poverty thing. Not the ideal setup for a successful marriage, according to Wyn. Wyn and Meri's dad were best buddies, so he had a front row seat to the disaster that was Kody's first marriage, not to mention the growing dysfunction of the plural family. I'm sure he knew exactly what was going on behind the scenes. And let's not forget how Wyn didn't exactly think Christine was the perfect solution either. Did he think Kody should clean up his act first, before adding another wife into the mix? Or did he feel Christine's family, being so deeply connected to the church, was just too much of a potential embarrassment for the Brown family? The details are murky, but one thing's clear. Wyn wasn't exactly handing out gold stars for Kody's marital performance. Of course, in the end, Kody likes to tell us how Christine fixed everything. I'm sure that's what he eventually told his dad, too, though Wyn likely had his doubts. Still, somehow, Kody managed to get Wyn to think that bringing Christine into the fold was actually the best thing he'd done. Because, as we all know, Kody's version of events is, well, let's just say flexible. Cap in hand, here I am, rewatching the series, currently on Season 6. And let me tell you, I should have started keeping track of how many times Kody drops the phrase, cap in hand. It's practically his go-to catchphrase. Of course, it's not just reserved for Robyn, which only adds to my annoyance. Now that I've vented, let's get back to the real puzzle. Why on earth did anyone think the Southwest closet was going to work? Here's the thing. Kody uses cap in hand completely wrong. He seems to think it means humbly asking for help, begging for acceptance. But let's be honest, we've all seen 19 seasons by now, especially with Robyn, and we know that's not how it works for her. For anyone who's actually familiar with the term, cap in hand doesn't mean what Kody thinks it does. It literally means begging for money. In the old days, people would walk around with their cap in hand, holding it out for spare change, too ashamed to look anyone in the eye. And just so we're clear, my 85-year-old dad is very familiar with this meaning. Back in his day, no one wanted to get close to a poor person. God forbid their poverty was contagious. They'd toss a coin in the cap, and that was about it. So in a way, Kody's actually right when he says Robyn came cap in hand. She certainly came looking for money, Freudian slip maybe. I mean, seriously, look at it. She came asking everyone, mostly Janelle, to pay off her massive $40,000 shopping debt, fund her rent, stock her fridge, keep her jewelry empire running, which is clearly a multi-million-dollar venture, and buy her random trinkets. And then, to top it all off, they handed over cash for her fancy McMansion. So yeah, cap in hand is pretty spot on for her. What makes it all even more ridiculous is that Kody himself never had anything to offer outside of his TLC paycheck to fund all of this. It's honestly hilarious. Okay, so I'm finally deep into Sister Wives, and I'm at season 8, and let me just say, I love to hate watch this show. It's like a slow-motion car crash that I can't look away from. But seriously, some of these episodes are so boring. I'm starting to wonder how I can get to the juicy stuff without it taking me the next 6 months. How many seasons are there anyway? It's like they're trying to make this show last longer than Kody's patience with his wives. I'm dying to know, are there any must-see episodes or specific seasons that are actually worth watching? Because I can't deal with the endless loop of the same conversations over and over again, or the never-ending road trips that feel like filler material. It's like, yes, I get it, they're a big family, but can we speed this up a bit? On the bright side, things are starting to unravel, and I am loving that Kody's true colors are showing. The family is practically imploding, and I'm here for it. But it's hard to keep my attention when I'm forced to fast forward through half the episode. Also, can we talk about how these episodes are so not binge-friendly? The constant coming up and last time recaps, like, bro, I'm already watching the next episode. I don't need a reminder, just get to the point already. Anyway, any tips on how to survive this marathon are much appreciated. What does it say about us as viewers that so many of us are eagerly waiting for Robyn to crash on that ATV? I mean, it's kind of telling, right? They mentioned it on Notes to Self. Corey can't wait for that episode, and plenty of fans, including myself, have been openly anticipating it. So does this make us terrible people, or is Robyn just so grating that we can't help but want to see her wipe out? It probably wasn't a serious crash if there hasn't been any news coverage about Robyn being hospitalized. So I'm guessing we're safe in assuming she didn't need to be rushed to the ER for real. But here's the thing. Are we seriously supposed to believe that after making such a huge fuss about Dayton's accident, and let's not forget how she went on about those atrocious motorbikes Kody got the kids last season, she's suddenly all in on riding an ATV? It's like she knew she was going to hit that hump at an angle, practically begging for it to tilt her. Look, I'm not rooting for her to get hurt. I'm not that bad, but a little tumble would be kind of hilarious. You just know they'll make a huge deal out of it, rush her to the ER, and then she'll film herself lying in a bed, claiming, "The doctor said I have a broken bone, but it's not actually broken," like she did with coronavirus. They say I have coronavirus-sounding lungs, but the test is negative. Classic Robyn. But then I see all these comments about the hate toward Robyn, and it honestly makes me wonder about this whole mob mentality. Sure, she's sensitive, but maybe we should take a step back and look at the bigger picture. The whole plural marriage thing seemed to be what she wanted, but she ran into issues with the other wives' jealousy. Christine's relationship with Kody was already crumbling, and Robyn just became the scapegoat. I'm sure we all remember the episode where Robyn and the kids came to say goodbye. Christine flat out ignored them, especially the kids. You could see how hurt they were. I've rewatched that moment, and it's pretty bad on Christine's part. Yet no one ever mentions it. Maybe we all need to be a little more compassionate here. Just a thought. Do you honestly think Meri went through with the legal divorce just out of the goodness of her heart? Or was it more likely one of the items on Kody's to-do list if she ever had any hopes of him considering reconciliation? Honestly, the latter makes a lot more sense. The whole legal divorce thing felt off from the start. I distinctly remember watching and thinking Meri didn't look all that enthusiastic about it. And then, when she mentioned the list, everything suddenly clicked into place. It also would have been nice if they had asked Meri and Janelle to weigh in on Christine's comments about Robyn allegedly planting the idea in Meri's head. Did Robyn really say that multiple times over the years? Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised, but the way the show presented it made it seem like just Robyn's side of the story against Christine's. A perfect opportunity totally wasted by not bringing Meri and Janelle into the conversation. So, anyone have a clue about what we're getting for the season finale? Last year's talkback was Chef's Kiss, a total highlight, and it would be amazing to see the cast try to hold it together while reacting to some of the absolute nonsense that's come out of Kody's mouth. Also, reunion episode. Can we please stop pretending the separate interviews are necessary just because Noodlehead and Goblin are too scared to be in the same room? How about a Zoom with everyone, plus an actual interviewer to steer the conversation? And seriously, I need Christine's girls to share their hair secrets. Those locks are everything. I'm over here with straight-up hair envy. Now, I know I'm probably in the minority, but a group chat seems like a horrible idea. There's no way anyone's going to be honest with the enemy sitting right there. And Kody? He just talk over everyone like he always does. We've seen him in uncomfortable conversations before, and he never lets anyone finish their sentence. Robyn will just let him take the floor and dab at her tears, and Meri and Janelle? They'll go into full-on avoidance mode. Meri will clam up, and Janelle will avoid the drama like it's her job. Christine, though, she's got the memo. Why waste her breath arguing with someone who's already exhausting? But if we could get the OG3, or maybe the OG13 who actually want to be there, together, now that I'd watch. We really don't need the adults to reunite again. What we need is a moderator who's actually been paying attention to the season and is willing to ask the tough questions. Remember that tell-all with Tamron Hall? She had everyone's feet to the fire, and Kody couldn't get away with his usual gaslighting. Robyn didn't get to hide behind tears every time things got uncomfortable. Honestly, if we're not going to get a decent moderator, can we just let each person have their moment to snark? The OGs are officially done pretending, and it's honestly a breath of fresh air to hear them finally call out the stuff that's been swept under the rug while they were all playing nice, hoping to get some action. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Take care and much love to you all.